can reduce cognitive decline and much more. Let's have this conversation right quick with Eziaha Bolaji-Olojo, who is a health and wellness coach. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Some Christians just ended a 40-day fast. Muslims are still fasting. And some people have never fasted in their life. Some haven't fasted in a very long time. What are they missing or losing?
What are they missing or losing? I like the way Miss A is looking at me because
no, I'm waiting for the answer.
because we're having an interesting conversation before we came on air. What are they missing? So I like to think of fasting as what we do to our cars. Our cars are constantly moving, right? We go from here to there, and they do this fantastic job of taking us from here to here. But we don't drive all the time. We stop at different times. We
Can change drivers.
No, I'm not talking of that. I'm saying we just let the car be. And from time to time, we even take the car for servicing. So what fasting does for the body, which is the most sophisticated machine ever, is to give it that time to rest and to service itself so that it can serve us better. So if we're constantly eating, we're not giving the body an opportunity to optimize itself, to heal, to repair. You know, you talked about longevity. It's amazing how a lot of the challenges we have with our health is because we're just constantly eating. Our bodies are not made to keep on eating. While ingestion, eating, is a very normal process, absorption, digestion, they're complicated. And we can't afford for that to keep happening. So when we fast, it's like sprinkling in the body and saying, hey, after all this work you have done, take a break. So that when we introduce food again, the body is optimally functioning. So they're definitely missing a lot if you're not fasting.
I love the smile on your face when you said that. So I get the impression that you fast from time to time?
As a habit. Yes, and it's not even something that only I should be doing. That's literally how the body was made to function optimally.
Okay. At what age are you advised to fast with discretion?
What do you mean by discretion?
Well, when I was younger, I heard that when you turn 60, because when you are young, you want to fast all through Lent, maybe till 12 noon or till 6 o'clock. And I was told that once you get to 60, you have to apply some discretion. Maybe instead of going till 6 o'clock, you stop at 12 and make sure you put something in your system, because the systems are not working as efficiently as they used to. So they cannot stay without nourishment for those long hours.
Okay, so you're talking in terms of as we get older,
yes.
When do we? Okay, so the most important thing is how we're treating the body even before we get to that age. If you have put your body in some kind of system, in some kind of habit, in some kind of routine, you can actually carry on, because like I said, the body is the most sophisticated machine ever. So let's just assume, let me talk about this. We have this, people will call it a fad, but really it should just be a way of life. Intermittent fasting, we're all familiar with that.
What is it?
Intermittent fasting is basically this period where we have some time of eating. It's called feasting. Then we have periods of fasting in a 24-hour day. Some people even take it to 3 days. So maybe you eat for 1 day or 1.5 days, and then you have a couple of hours when you don't eat. But let's look at it within the 24-hour cycle. So people could do like an 18-6, meaning that I'm fasting for 18 hours. And I'm eating for 6 hours. That gives us 24 hours. Or I'm fasting for 16 hours and I'm eating for 8 hours. So that's something that happens now. And sometimes people can think of it as a fad, but it's really not a fad. It's one way to get the body to function optimally. Because, okay, think about our homes. our homes, right? when we live in our homes and we do all the normal processes that happen within the home, whether you are a very careful person or you're not a very careful person, the home at some point would demand some kind of spring cleaning, some kind of deep cleaning. But when you introduce that system, instead of waiting for a particular time when you spring clean the home, if you now make it a daily habit, which is where I'm going to, if we make it a daily habit, then you just realize that you have set up your body to function.
And you don't need to spring clean.
Let me
you would
provoke.
still do that. But,
let me provoke some things. So we hear all kinds of things all the time already, and you have tons of questions to answer. I fast already anyway because I'm supposed to sleep for 8 hours. Yes or yes? Now, when I sleep for 8 hours, am I not fasting?
Yes.
you're fasting.
Secondly,
He has not finished.
secondly,
Hold it.
generally, most people, well, my kind of person, most of the time, don't even have the time for breakfast. All I do in the morning is my cocoa
Oh,
with honey.
you're so posh.
Cocoa.
You know, my cocoa. Not cocoa, not
Yeah, cocoa.
Cocoa.
Is that like chocolate drink?
Yes.
Something like that.
With a touch of honey.
With a dash of honey.
Okay.
With a dash of honey.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, for those who don't already eat like 3 times, don't have the time to have 3 square meals,
So
as they
you're
say.
not intentionally fasting. That's not intentional.
Please answer the question, Jari.
Mr. Ayo, you're doing the right thing.
You see?
Because we're
You
not,
see?
we're not supposed to be eating all the time.
You
There's
see?
just such a presence of food everywhere. Everywhere you go for a meeting that is 8 hours, and there are 2 tea breaks, there's the lunch break, there's breakfast, and we feel a need to eat at every of these times.
We paid for it.
I can't even say anything to that. I'm not even going to say anything to that. But honestly, there's too much food. So when you talk, so basically what you're saying, we can just put it into a nice system of intermittent fasting. When we talk of breakfast, it's actually what you break that fast that your body has been on
All night.
while you slept. So you know when I said the 18-6, the 18 hours of fasting, your sleep time is added to it. So imagine that you don't have the time to eat, of which we're not supposed to always be eating anyways, and then your first meal is at 1 o'clock. That's completely okay. And we're now saying, put a system to it. Don't just do it casually. Let the body have times when it's feasting. So let's say you start to eat at 1, and because you know your body, you're the expert on your own body, you know your body, you start to feel the desire to eat from 1. You can then say, okay, I can carry on this eating for the next 7 hours. And that's not to say you just eat, because what you eat in those hours really matter. And you tell yourself, I would stop eating at 8 p.m. My last meal, my body closes for the day at 8 p.m. And you make that a habit. Even your body likes predictability. You know what causes some people to just age fast is when, think of your car. Do you take it to any kind of servicing every time? No. You stick to a certain routine. So every time we introduce fad diets and eating anyhow, and there's no predictability and structure to our eating, the body is almost confused. And then your cells are constantly moving, and that's how the wear and tear happens. But once you bring in that system, and you're like, hey, I'm going to eat between 1 and 9, 1 and 8, whatever number of hours you choose to eat, and you make it a habit. It's amazing what this machine that is your body starts to do for you. But if we're just anyhow, body's eating anyhow, we're just, because there's food everywhere. We can't even blame, there's just food everywhere. And it looks like food is the answer to social problems. Food is the answer to every problem. I agree that food is amazing. But fasting is that thing we bring in to say, hey, I'm putting a break on it.
Does it matter what the nature of work the person does? Because I don't know how I can preach this one to a bricklayer.
Okay, I love the question, because when we say when we say you start your eating window, your feasting window, you can choose to start your feasting window when your body is going to be demanding the most energy from you. So even a bricklayer is not working for 12, ideally. Should not be working for 14 hours. So imagine that you start your work.
You're right. Let's say he starts working around, say, 8 a.m. You would probably close 6, 7 p.m.
Yes. So, and your body doesn't need to keep being fueled until you close. So you can fuel yourself sufficiently within a nice window, and the body continues to power you. And after some time, all of the food is digested, absorbed. Then the body has an opportunity to rest before we start the whole process the next day.
Do you have a question now? Because I want to keep firing.
Fire.
Please, fire on.
Now, one of the things, I saw a video. It's one religion. It was a call to prayer. The husband and wife sat down. They already had everything that they wanted to eat. And then there was a call to prayer. The man said, the wife wanted to join. The man said, wait. So they now thought that the call to prayer had started fully. And then they started to eat because they had been fasting. They started to eat. And then they heard testing microphone.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
So, breaking the fast, and I'm not just talking about breakfast, breaking the fast, is there a science or a mechanism to it? Someone is hungry, has been hungry since morning. You have a large bowl of eba. Why are you laughing?
The picture is just in my mind's eye. Someone has been fasting since morning.
Yeah.
And then you said that they should not eat it.
And then you prepare a table before me.
And then...
So, is there a mechanism or a science to breaking the fast?
Okay. But why are we saying they should not eat? Because it's okay to get to
eat eba immediately. I'm just asking.
Meanwhile, eba is really good, because
Yes,
sometimes
it is.
eba just gets a bad rap.
Yes, you are right.
It's fantastic.
No, you are absolutely right. But is it a good one to break the fast with?
No.
So
but let me give you some. Okay, so when we have let our body fast and rest and repair all of the things that have happened, when we think food, don't just think eating. I want you to think nourishment. You are nourishing the body. You're not just putting calories in. So one of the best things that I'll tell the citizens, my clients that I coach, is after you've had this period of especially intentional fasting, one of the best ways, because at this point, okay, let's use this analogy of a home. When you clean and declutter your home, fasting can be like that. We've taken away all the toxins, we've dealt with everything. That's a really good time to fumigate, because then the fumigation can go everywhere and do the work that it's supposed to do. So think of eating after that period of fasting as nourishing the body, as fumigating, as optimizing things. So one of the best ways to start is by taking a juice. I'm not saying you won't still eat your eba. You eat it because it's great. But what that juice, because you're thinking nourishment, how do I just really pump my body with nutrients? And that period, the fumigation goes everywhere with little hindrance. So that's what you want to do. A juice or a smoothie is packed with nutrients. So, and it's not hard to digest. It can just nicely go, give all the organs what it needs nicely without hindrances. Then maybe after 20, 30 minutes, you can then eat. Even some religions that fast, they don't just break with eba. They break with lighter food. So the goal is make it light. Let it hit all the good parts of the body. Let it provide. Let it give what it should be given.
So you can start with cocoa.
What's cocoa?
Oh, Jesus.
Pap.
Pap.
Yeah.
But pap is great.
Ogi.
But what's cocoa?
That's it.
What language is that?
Yoruba.
Okay. Okay, you've said pap now.
Pap and akara, right?
Something like...
No, just the pap.
Yes,
okay.
Just to start, just to open belly, like we say, just open belly nicely. Then after some time, you can take that. Water is also, of course, if you were not drinking water when you were fasting, that's a great way to start. But don't put your body into this intense hard work immediately. Just nicely, slowly ease into...
So what's the consequence? Okay, go on.
Now, what is this fast that you can do and take water?
It's called a water fast.
Water fast.
Water fast. And it's, you know, the beautiful thing is how doctors are literally using water fast to cure diseases. That's way out of my scope, but for curiosity, I check it out and it's amazing. Like, water fast is breakthrough in science now. I'm saying we're talking of fasting, helping the cancer drugs work even better. You talked about some of this when you were introducing this topic. So fasting is literally medicine now to break some kind of health challenges that we cannot break alone with drugs, because it's a way of manipulating the body. The body is a healer. The body can self-heal, but there are ways to manipulate it, and food can hinder it. So doctors are now finding ways, finding those windows when we feel like, no, don't eat. Hold on for a while, and then let's see what the body can come up with so that the body is equipped to fight disease on its own. It's powerful. What we're doing with food, and a lot of the challenges we have with our health, we know that it's really in our belly.
Okay, so just to be clear, there are different types of fasting.
Oh, they're different.
So water fast is one.
Yes.
What other types are there?
So you can have juice fasting, you can have fruit fasting. Juice, not the sugary juices. I'm saying natural juices. Yes, you can have water fasting, you can have fruit fasting, you can detox where you're eating like fruits and veg. That's another fantastic one.
What is that?
Okay, so a detox is when you're eating basically raw food. It's not not like raw rice.
Oh, okay. Just say
raw food, so veggies. You're basically not cooking anything. You're just eating salads,
okay.
You know, smoothies, water, all of that.
So how long do you have to do that for it to actually detoxify your body?
Thank you because I was waiting to go in that direction. So whatever thing it is that we're doing, which is why you can't really fast for 4 hours or 6 hours and get the benefits of it. You're going to have to extend it. So science actually would put it at about 16 hours. It's great. You know, we added the time you slept, which is why sleep is amazing, because that's also the body's time to repair itself. So if I'm saying, hey, fast for 16 hours and you slept for 6, 7, 8 hours, that reduces the amount of time because there are other things you're doing. So if you're going to detox or you're going to fast, just make sure that you give it some time, 16 hours in the day, even 14 hours, that's pretty great. And if you're doing a detox, you want to maybe pull it for 3 days. If you're able to do that, just give the body time because imagine that some people have been eating really poorly for a while. Imagine a really dirty home and then a home that's not so dirty. You know that the people that are cleaning will take a lot of time to clean the dirty home, and sometimes that's just how some bodies are. So it takes time for the toxins. I say this with all sense of respect. You know, that's how the body can be, and then, you know, you take some time to take it out.
Let's just call this part 1. I didn't know talking about fasting could be so consuming. Okay, fasting. Just Google it, because I don't think we can say all of it. But thank you so much for being here this morning. Eziaha Bolaji is a health and wellness coach. Now you know that your sleep time is fasting time. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we return, it's time for the home stretch. And guess who's coming to dinner?